And he extended it to such a length to the point where you almost think, well, she's going to live. She's going too far now. To kill her now would just be like, it's just, you can't do that to this poor girl. She's going through too much. And then you kill her.
A kind of key scene for the mood of the piece is the visit that Julie and Helen make to Missy's house, the Anne Hesh character.
Jodie Foster tried this and a skin-ripping serial killer answered the door.
There wasn't a whole, like, searching through the script to find the nuance. It was, let's be creepy.
You really have to credit Jim for seeing the big picture of it all, because I swear when those dailies came back, and it was like Anne she was wearing this sort of smocky apron thing.
Missy, do you remember me from the other day, the car trouble?
What are you doing here?
It's like a crazy, beautiful, but quirky, like deeply odd person who's like out there chopping up birds. You're like, what job is this? What is this woman doing?
I need to find your brother's friend, Billy Blue. I need to talk to him. And I was thinking maybe you could look through this yearbook.
What's this all about?
Well, it's too crazy to explain, but it has to do with your brother and last July 4th.
What about it?
What happened to your brother wasn't an accident. There's more to it than that.
I know.
You know what?
Well, he killed himself. The fish, the knives, the backyard. I imagine that Jim is the guy who said, let's not do it in the house, let's do it out back. Ooh, what should she be doing? Maybe we had a conversation. What do you feel about fish?
At some point, I thought Jim had gone off the rails, and I was just like, this scene's never going to work. It's crazy. What's it doing in the movie?
I had to keep this hidden from the insurance company because they wouldn't pay me the money, if it was suicide.
And it's now one of my favorite sequences.
Yeah, that don't much matter anymore because money's been spent. That's it.
This isn't a suicide note. This is a death threat.
She's excellent in the role. She really does embrace everything that was on the page and then some. I mean, it was just 2 scenes, and she's very memorable in it.
What do you mean you saw him? Where? Where did you see him?
He was crossing the road. We hit him. It was an accident.
No. My brother drowned.
I saw him. He had Susie tattooed on his arm.
Tattoo? He doesn't have a tattoo on his arm.
I saw it on his right
You didn't
forearm.
see anything. Get out of here. Get out of my house. When I arrived on the set, Jennifer and Sarah were so enthusiastic.
And act.
And so thrilled about what they were doing. And I think that's really neat. I think that showed.
She was like this little wood nymph running around all day. I just thought she was great. She was fun.
Ray! Ray! Ray!
Julie, what are you doing here?
We didn't kill David Egan. It was someone else on the road that night.
What are you talking about?
I think it was Susie's father, Ben Willis. He's a fisherman.
There's a scene where Love Hewitt runs to the boat to confront Ray. And she's on the dock, and he's on the boat.
Yeah, but what if he didn't die, Ray? What if he's still alive?
It's a fairly short scene. It's a comparatively simple thing to shoot. Well, that's fine if you don't have a tide. And of course, none of us really thought about it, that you have a boat here, which is on the tide, and you have Love here, and so you start to shoot the scene, and she's down here, and he's up there. And as the scene progresses, the tide goes, and by the end of the scene, he's like 8 feet different in height from where we began. And we couldn't complete the scene. We had to come back the following night when the tide was the same. And of course, everyone's going, why didn't you complete the scene? I said, well, there's nothing we could do.
Oh, my God, it's you.
What are you talking about?
Billy Blue, you went to Missy's. You're the friend. You're the fisherman.
I can explain. Julie, wait. Julie!
Shit!
Greg!
The biggest problem I had in the entire film was filming in and around the sea. We were filming on the Cape Fear River, and our nautical expert was fond of saying they don't call it the Cape Fear for nothing.
Never, never, never shoot on water.
This elemental force is uncontrollable.
It was terrible. The whole boat sequence was awful.
And if it decides to turn, the tide, whip up, whatever, nothing you can do.
And it was Cape Fear, no less, which is called that for a reason. It's truly, I mean, it's a violent river or lake or whatever the hell it is.
And the first night that we've shot in the boat, we nearly lost the boat, just trying to tie it up to our dock. And we had to give up and go and film something else at the last minute.
As much as I know about boats, I don't know as much as my dad. And so I remember going home, and my dad walked me around his boat. And so my dad took me out and said, well, here's how it happens. And he showed me how the winch worked, how the cables would snap, and how it could go so fast and so lightning quick, you would sever a limb. And of course, when we went to go film it, Jim, in his brilliance, said, well, we're going to make it as visual as possible.
Happy 4th of July, Julie.
Please, it was an accident.
I know all about accidents. And let me give you some advice. When you leave a man for dead, make sure he's really dead.
So they had him drugged up all the way up to the top of the A-frame, and then the cable snapped, and then he lost it at the top, and it went flying off into the water. And of course, the first call I got was from my dad. That's not the way it would happen, Kevin. I had a great introduction to filmmaking. I kind of broke on and I latched on to a great moment, because the timing was everything with my career in that regard. And so I still pinch myself.
I do believe that we were all just really in the right place at the right time and, had some good instincts, and then the others were just sort of like found luck in some places.
Everything that could go right in this movie did go right. I mean, and even in hindsight, the things that were difficult about it ended up being the best things about it.
It really hit the mark, I think, for everybody. This was a genre picture. They were trying to target an audience. They wanted to do it with the best cast, the funnest cast, the freshest cast.
It was my first kind of big thing, and I'll always remember it really fondly, and it was great, so I was really proud.
I Know What You Did Last Summer will be around in people's memories because it wasn't just a teen slasher flick. I had something else there, and I think that's why it was a success.